going on, guys? Alright, so 30-minute drawings, all that good stuff. I'm not too sure how well I'm going to do on this one. I'm wearing jeans while I'm doing this, so it's a new thing for me. So today is going to be Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. Again, not really a huge fan of the horror or whatever, but still, it's kind of cool to get out of your comfort zone once in a while and makes you think. I don't know, like different subject matter, different genres really kind of help you push the envelope a little bit as far as like how you would do certain camera angles, all that stuff. So Freddy Krueger scary movies usually they always have like a canted angle or something like that to kind of put the audience not necessarily at ease, but on edge a little bit. And so, it's done like Alfred Hitchcock and all these guys, that came before. Um, Anything that can make the audience a little bit unsettled, the better. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot and see what I can come up with. All right, so this is going to be Freddy Krueger, and I'm guessing from, well, they've made a remake, so whatever, we'll see what happens. So Freddy Krueger, he is not a cool dude. Can't angle. How can we do this? Usually I kind of like start with the head and all that kind of stuff, but this time around I think I'm going to go ahead and try to do more or less a little bit of an upshot, because Freddy Krueger is always, I don't know, he's kind of a dick. Excuse my language, but he is, he comes in while you're sleeping. He gains his power from your fear and everything like that, right? Gains his power from people talking about him and remembering him and everything like that, right? All the past atrocities that he's committed. So definitely whenever you go into your dreams, unless you can kind of control your dreams, he has power over you. So that's why I'm kind of doing an upshot here of him, because he more or less owns you as you sleep, especially if you're afraid and stuff, like I said. So of course, as you're kind of some of the tricks that you can do to make someone more majestic, or or is supposed to be something grand or whatever, you can always have them seem larger than life, and just to kind of just to kind of make everyone else feel small. It's like, oh, I'm not as powerful as this guy, I'm not going to be able to fight him off or whatever. And of course, if you have that doubt and you have that fear, that's what he wants. That's what Mr. Krueger wants. So I'm going to go ahead and try it out, see if I can pull it off. If not, oh well. It's a warm-up sketch. But yeah, I don't really know too much about it. I mean, all I know is like my uncle took me to go see Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it was the Dream Warriors or something like that up in Canada. After I went to found like a local comic book store, and it was my uncle and I were taking a bus trip to go see my aunt and my cousins and stuff like that. And we were, we're going together and we're just kind of like exploring and this and that. And that was kind of cool. I remember the comic book store. I remember what I bought that day, which was kind of crazy. So it was I think, what was it? It was a G.I. Joe European Missions was it European missions? Yeah. Um, with Snake Eyes and two separate stories, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, and and what was it? It was like it was a pocket books. It was like the pocket small GI Joe reprints, and it pretty much told the story of how Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow. Spoiler alert! Of how they're like not necessarily blood brothers, but more or less like brothers um, from like the same ninja clan. You know, Snake Eyes learned from the same ninja clan as Storm Shadow, and so that was kind of cool. And yeah, I don't know, Storm Shadow. I don't know, Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes probably some of my favorite early childhood heroes, or whatever it is you want to call them. Yeah, it was good stuff. And then that, of course, that movie scared the living crap out of me. So thanks, Uncle, for that. But so that was my introduction to Freddy Krueger and I would say slasher movies. You know, seen like other scary movies before, like Poltergeist and stuff like that, but never really got into them simply because I hate being scared. It's not fun for me, um, unless of course it's like physical activity or something like that, and something that boosts your adrenaline or whatever. But being scared just to be scared, nah, not a fan. So bring that out this way, away from his body. So yeah, as I'm doing this, I'm just trying to figure out, you know, perspective, and of course, you're not going to want perspective to, especially like in a dream sequence, to make too much sense because there, um, it's too much of reality, too much of the real world. So you want to go ahead and see if you can't make it a little bit bizarre to help sell the fact that you're in, you know, a dream. Come on, maybe. Hmm. I know there's like a lot of gross moments in that show, so I know he had like his tongue pretty much turns into like a tentacle or something like that. So, and I think it like goes forcefully down down someone's mouth, you know. So yeah, well, maybe a couple like tentacles coming out of the shadows. I'm gonna probably have this in silhouette or whatever. And I'll sort of make it somewhat like a movie poster. I'm not sure though. Maybe cut down the size of this 3D element. Here I'm making like a little bit of a border. That way it could be more or less like a 3D element popping out. You know, so let's say if someone was, although in this format, the screen format, somebody was shooting Nightmare on Elm Street, and you were watching this video or this movie from your iPhone. That's what this box is going to be for. That way it kind of helps these tentacles pop out, like if they're going to um, attack you, you know, attack the viewer, make it more 3D realistic. So I don't, you know, I think there was one. What was it? There was one cover that was actually really, really cool. I think it might be the first cover. I'm not sure if it was or not. But, you know, you have like this girl, right? And it was a painted cover. And that's what was kind of cool back in the day of movies and stuff like that, is the artwork. And the poster artwork was actually really good. I'll get back to that a little bit later. But there was this girl in bed, you know, and her eyes were like wide open. And then you have you know, this crazy looking guy, you know, with his clawed hands, and yeah, it was really well done actually. But yeah, movie posters back in the day were awesome, with like Drew Struzan, not just Drew Struzan either. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't know their names offhand, but they're great to look at. Um, oh yeah, those claws, EP. Hands. Here we go again. When will they ever just stop showing up? Hands. Yeah. Anyways, back to the what you call it, the movie posters. Yeah, I mean, right then and there, you have the opportunity to, I mean, from the get-go. Oh my gosh, you got some kid yelling outside. But anyways, from the get-go, you have a chance to make the audience, um, you know, a chance to get them in a state of um, like a sense of disbelief, right? So that they can actually suspend belief as they're watching the movie. But nowadays, you have a whole bunch of movie posters with you know, with just poorly photoshopped images, and they're of the heroes, the characters, or I'm sorry, the actors, and they're poorly done. It just looks stupid. You know, they just missed their. It's kind of like a cover of a comic book, a cover of a magazine, or anything like that. You have a chance to go ahead and draw the viewer in right from the get-go before they even step into the theater. And what do? You botch it by putting some crappy photo of who's in the movie, which again, you could possibly do. You could probably do that as as a as an illustration, you know. But as an illustration, you can kind of set it in like you know, something like in fantasy or something like that, right? Oh, what can we do? Something bad, crazy. Make like a bed. Let's see here. Make like a bed, headstand. Oh, no, that's too many elements, I think. Should I make a furnace? Should he be in this furnace room with chains or something like that? I think this head is too big. Shouldn't be able to see that much on top of his hat. So was that hand. Holy crap. Let's see, Meat Hooks. Meat Hooks was that? I don't know. What was the Meat Hooks? I think the Meat Hooks was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? Whatever. Meat Hooks is now. Maybe that's someone's nightmare. Someone's nightmare is Freddy Krueger is now the head of like I don't know, food. The head of food production, food quality control. Ugh, no thanks. Okay. Have like watery eyes. Alright, and let's see here. And as everybody knows, I have big time trouble trying to finish things. So see how it goes this time around. As per usual, always see how it goes. Okay. And of course, using like the Pentel Pocket brush pen, just more or less trying to get like a general shape. I'm trying to get some inconsistent lines consistently, if that makes any sense. You know, I know that I guess a lot of people, I mean, sometimes a lot of people like really, really clean lines and everything like that, so I'm trying to get something a little bit more organic, but at the same time organic, but not lazy looking. That's kind of rough for me a little bit. Because I like clean lines, I like how that looks. Maybe that could be something bright. Light sources that way, and that's going to light the lines differently. But yeah. Again, this is just like good warm up. Just get everything moving a little bit. Don't tell me my pocket brush pen is running out of ink as I'm doing this. And of course, stripes, they are pretty cool because you can use them to kind of round out the figure a little bit. Because of the design elements. If you do it wrong, they suck. Because it flattens out the figure and everything like that. So I'm hoping I don't do it wrong, but we'll see what happens. And here comes the unwanted dry brush effect, because things are running out. But if that's the case, then we'll use it to our advantage, hopefully not too crappy like. Alright, so as you tell, this is running out, so you guys are going to get a quick, holy squeaky chair Batman, a quick tutorial on how to change an ink cartridge. First, you get your picture out of the way for the Pentel pocket brush pen. Screw out the back side. That sounds terrible, but you go ahead, you unscrew the pen. As you tell, you're going to have the thin end in first. Push that in. As you push that in, put on the cap, you screw it in, and then you'll hear a click. That means the seal at the tip of this is open, and that means you should have ink flow to the brush. And then you open the freaking brush again. Alright, so let's go with light sources back here. It's coming this direction, meaning this is going to be in shadow, for the most part in shadow. That will be light source coming that direction, shadow. And then you have some light up here, and this will be in shadow. And yeah, I always have to kind of like talk to myself. I always have to talk to myself as far as, gotta remind myself where the light source is, because sometimes I botch it. And then whenever you have inconsistent light source, then you have very, not a very good, you have shapes that don't make sense, you have shadows that don't make sense, you have forms that don't make sense. So shadows and form and everything like that will actually help sell direction and perspective and all that. So you want to make sure that they're somewhat consistent. And sometimes you lose it, but then you try to get it back. That should not be like that, but whatever, we'll see what happens. Okay, and it's coming this way again. That should be dark. That comes out. Yeah, that one might not be good. Let's see what happens. Then we have a motorcycle dude starting his bike. It's like, bro, you're the man. And probably could have used a different tool for speed lines on this one, or mapped it out a little bit better. But make that the tendrils disappear within the darkness. That way it looks like it's kind of coming from him, from Freddy, you know what I mean? The source of the tendrils are from the evil that is Freddy. Um, and then next one's that one. I'm gonna make it darker and darker. I don't really care about that light source anymore so much. Because it doesn't matter what you do, man. Freddy Krueger, when he's powerful enough, every day is a dark day. Okay, 3 minutes, yeah. Shows probably his smile. Don't really feel like drawing his grotesque features. Plus, they're kind of far away, and plus, he's facing away from the light. So, whatever. He's gonna be the boogeyman that you can't see, but you know is there. Baba Yaga, as they call John Wick. Baba Yaga. And it's about 30 minutes right now. So, unlike the other ones, because of the render time as well, I'm gonna go ahead and call it this one again. Not done, but I will continue to try to finish it up some. That way, again, the render time's not ridiculous. I know people don't really want to watch 40 minutes of something that's, or 30 minutes or whatever. I can't even finish a freaking drawing. So I don't even know, like, if people really want to watch that until I start actually completing pieces, or if I can draw faster. Let me know in the comments below. Dude, bro, you're wasting your time. Why are you recording this crap? You don't ever finish anything. What am I supposed to learn? Is it really even fun? Your banter isn't that great, or it is that great? Again, let me know. I'm just trying to get a little bit better as well, talking while drawing. Um, you know, good practice for like conventions and stuff like that. So, yep, let me know. I'm gonna call it done right here. Not done, but done for the video. So, thank you very much. I'll talk to you guys a little bit later. See ya.